New games had such a substantial impact as Pokémon did. With the recent worldwide launch of Pokémon Crystal in the video game stores all around, the boom of Pokémon elevated even more. However, an anonymous farmer employee had shared in first-hand some shocking and scrapped media of Pokémon that will never see the light. The greatest paradigm change was the knowledge of scrapped Pokémon from the launch of Pokémon Red and Green. According to an anonymous insider, there are over 20 Pokémon that were completely deleted from the original games, and some of them were found in hidden archives that will blow your mind as well. In an interview with Satoshi Tajiri, the head of Pokémon, something weird was found. Please watch the uncut version of this interview tape.
ゲームデザイナーとしての育ちの特性としてそういう新しい動詞を発見していくっていう旅もあるし、これからゲームデザイナーを目指す人たちも英動詞のその表一つでもゲームの世界の新しいアイデアとつながってるって思ったら、まあ勉強する人も落ちてくるから、将来のゲームデザイナーにもおすすめしたい。
Did you realize it? 158 creatures, however, only 151 Pokémon existed in the first game's release. Another shocking information was revealed in the same interview, but we will showcase it later. Many years of research were made, and the original interview was lost until we find it, thanks to the insider. But the question we are making is, why are those 7 hidden creatures? 2 personal names were mentioned by a list that the farmer employee gave to us, Tamagon and Spurto. We don't know exactly where the name ARG is, but for the information we got, we can suppose. Take a look in this picture capture from a beta version of Pokémon Green. In the upside, we can see a dinosaur-looking Pokémon with a grumpy-looking and holding something that is similar to an egg on its head. This probably means that Tamago comes from the Japanese word for egg and gon from dragon. We also found a back sprite capture for it against a Sandshrew. Note that it's a super effective message shown. Also note that Sandshrew HP bar is 0. This probably means Tamagon used a super effective move, dash it and knock it out. In other words, it probably should be a water, grass, or ice-type Pokémon. But here comes the twist. According to the leaker, the fact that Misty has 2 starfishes on her team, Stereo and Starmie, it's because Stereo is supposed to be a Tamago. But after they decided to scrap it, they needed to change. It also agreed with this perfective move against Sandshrew. If this information is not enough, an user from eBay were selling a card that somehow were made. This card shows Tamagon in its full design and is proving the point from the insider, and gives us more details about its personality and behavior. A water-type Pokémon that should be in the Misty team, even through an enemy. Isn't it even hard to assume it, since Misty got an egg in an enemy that hatched into Togepi, another egg Pokémon. We believe that Togepi is supposed to be Tamagon. There is another interesting point about this scrapped Pokémon. It's supposed to be the first dragon Pokémon, along what they planned for Horse Sea. The insider told us that Tamagon evolution was somehow adapted into Kingadra in Gold Silver games. So we assume it means it's supposed to be a wild dragon type too. Let's take a brief at the reconstruction of the early design of Kingadra. Now observe this screen capture. This shows dialogue indicating that Tamagon was about to evolve, but actually looks like it just finished the evolution, but the capture was made just before the evolution name being revealed. By its design, we can tell it's a dinosaur-like Pokémon, with some rat features and an egg on its back, and a Tamagon on its head, on the place where it's supposed to be the egg. It has the strange similarities of the beta design of Kingadra. We would probably become without any information about its name because of the picture was taken too early. However, Cartoon found another card from a different seller in Amazon. Now we can see some difference compared to its sprite design. The most noticeable is the lack of the egg and a longer neck. In Sportum, probably arguing for sport, is somehow similar to Lapras by its big health and size. Ken 2 has a plethora of normal-type Pokémon, and a leaked list of Pokémon Red and Green data mining shows us that we lost some of them. The list features only 89 Pokémon, their cries and their sprites, which tell us some Pokémon are lacking the list. But also there are two names that pop out our attention, Jingus and Dungus. What you will listen right now is their supposed cries found in datamine. In a deeper look at them, we can see a design of two raccoons, or something similar. They also seem like to wear gloves, to resemble the fighting-type Pokémon. The reason of the deleting remains but now. The possibility that internet users were debating is because of the name, which probably is referenced Ding Dong from bells. But it didn't translate dudes, since Jingdus is also used as a curse. Another reason can be that there are too many two-stage normal-type Pokémon, and CC game memory was linked inside to scrap to reuse in future, which has some similarities with Forage. This was not the first time we see this raccoon Pokémon actually. In an old Pokémon magazine called Pokémon Power, we see a strangely similar monster in one of the editions. This Pokémon is possibly Jingus, comparing to the design in the magazine with the sprite. By the code Secrets of SS8, we can imply that this Pokémon will be available before the third gym, possibly in the grass or even a secondary mission, as a gift or trade Pokémon for some passengers from the ship. Unfortunately, no official magazine content related to this evolution dongles were found. However, the same eBay seller that we contacted about Tamagon is also selling a card about dongles. It seems like the sprite reveal in the datamine, but more polished. The pose is suspiciously similar to the sprite, but they still have some major change in the eyes that use it to look like glasses. The type apparently is normal type, but we don't have information if it's also fighting type. After the release of Dark type in Pokémon Gold and Silver, it could be a Dark type as well. No other information was collected since then. But rumor says that a raccoon Pokémon will be created in the next Pokémon games generation. Possibly a normal type or even a dark type as speculated. In the deep forums of internet, we found a forum thread from June 1998 discussing about a mysterious magazine, a 1997 edition found in one user called Goblin Girl Brother's Room. This user also shares information about the magazine and even displays a link to a picture of the real magazine. Another user called Prowl mentioned about some Pokemon they recognized in the zine cover. One of them is Bangiras, with the Japanese name of Tyranitar, and Naldo, which is on reveal at the moment. Other comment from the user showed that the magazine were purchased in an A3 convent, and the drawings were early designs of Ken Sugibori. Note that one user was banned for sharing unauthorized official material, which makes it even more strange. A mysterious picture that first user shown was this cover. Note that we find some designs we don't know yet. A turtle, a multi-legged Clefairy, early design of Tyranitar, and the orange monster called Naldo. Its face has strange similarities to other Gen 2 Pokemon, Ampharos and Quagsire. We also see two characters that we couldn't identify. However, this wasn't the only appearance of Naldo in official material. Remember the Satoshi Tajiri interview we mentioned before? There's another interesting mention.
ちなみに田尻さんの一番好きなポケモンはニョロモですね。ニョロモ。はいね、それですごく驚いたっていうかね、ニョロモはそういうまあ少年の時の驚きを象徴したもの、感動がこう中の渦巻きになっているっていうことね。で愛着があるんですね。
Looks like the editor and even the interviewer didn't realize the suspicious mention to Naldo. They simply ignored it. But it's more mysterious that we found a seller in the Silk Scarf Road, another ground illegal website that shared this image of a card with Naldo. However, for some reason, the original source of this image was completely deleted from the internet. But now we can assume Naldo is a kind of dinosaur, frog, rabbit Pokemon. Probably a fire-type early version of Ampharos, but without any evolution or pre-evolution as we can see on the card. We don't have other information about this design. The same forum we found in the 1997 Pokémon magazine, we also found a word comment from a mysterious user who hid their name for protection. Watch carefully this other interview.
交換したくなるほど欲しいって思うものを作るのはもう果てしなく大変だったんですね。だから最初は10ぐらいしか作ってないですから、もうあっという間に飽きてくるわけです。それがじゃあ飽きないぐらい遊べるためにどれぐらいポケモン作るんだっていう話になって、それでもうね果てしのない道に行ったなと思ってね。
This shocking information implies that possibly in Pokemon Gold and Silver or Crystal, supposed to have a dual type starters, but will change completely the way we face rivals and their entire game experience. A popular Japanese TV show in 1998 called Pokémon no Uchiri Atsumaru, known to reveal and showcase Pokémon news with humor, reveal additional information about what looks like a leaked sprite. Unfortunately, the raw recording of the program was lost. We only found captures of some crucial moments. Take a look at this moment. The two ladies watching the TV while a sprite is shown in the corner. This sprite looks like a moose with candles instead of horns. Something that looks like grass on its backs. This can be interpreted as a fire grass Pokemon if we link with Satoshi words. Also, magazine, specifically Red and Blue Guide Strategy, showed us what was supposed to be the final design of its mysterious moose. This moose has strange similarities with the sprite revealed on the show if we compare side by side. And what apparently was an error of print since the other editions have this moose again, possibly it's actually a clue of the dual type star that was scrapped. Apparently, this concept was older than we thought. In the third episode of the 1998 TV show, a card was displayed by the presenter of the show. By the time displayed only a few minutes after the reveal of the Candle Moose sprite, just like it, only a frame of the episode was available. Take a look to make your own conclusions. Note that its fire-type card Pokemon somehow has a water-type move displayed on the card. This is another clue that it was supposed to be a fire or water-type Pokemon. And there's another detail. Look at the number of the card. The number is 4, which means this is most likely the equivalent of the Fire Star Pokemon. However, the first star, the water type, is a complete mystery. We don't have any official material or media to show how it looks like. But since we had a grass fire moves, a fire water crab, we should have a water grass Pokemon. Even not having any material in TV show or similar, have pictures of a guidebook of Pokemon Gold and Silver that displays a strange Pokemon next to forage. Observe carefully. When we zoom it, we can assume it's something similar to a rodent, with something similar to a grass necktie. We can assume this is just a regular grass-type Pokemon, but we can go beyond. It could be a third star that is left. It isn't hard to assume, since there are some water rodents, like beavers and capybaras. Unfortunately, we didn't find any other information, name and typing of this creature. There is left at least 2 more Pokemon left to discover in the original Red and Green games, from what we heard of the interview. we have a possible hint of what one of them is, and we want to advise that could be shocking, but we only have the name in a raw scale. In a forum, users were talking about Pokemon they've heard about but did not remember. A name popped up in the chat. Tentacle. In the picture is